recently I came home and I walked through the door, familiar sight. I saw the cooking show on the TV and it was facing the kitchen, and she's in the kitchen, I'm thinking, at least, because all the lights are on and stuff is strewn about the island of our kitchen, and I walk in looking for her and she's not there. I couldn't find her anywhere, so I called about the house. I couldn't find anyone. No one was there. And yet everything looked like she was supposed to be there cooking dinner. Well, as I'm contemplating my eschatology, considering the possibility of a partial rapture, at least, I don't know. I was relieved when she walked through the door just at that moment. Whew. I said, where'd you go? Where have you been? She said, well, I had to run to the store real quick. I had forgotten a key ingredient here to what we were making. And I said, well, couldn't you have just done without it? And she said, well, no, of course not. I said, well, that's what I would have done. She said, well, that's why you're a lousy cook and wouldn't trust you with cooking dinner. See, because if you want it to turn out right, I mean, you certainly need all the ingredients, and you'd better put them all in and not leave any out if you want the thing to turn out the way it's supposed to. A lot of people want the finished product to be good. They just want to leave out the key ingredients, and you find that in a lot of areas of life. I mean, a lot of people like to have a college education. They just don't want to read all the books and write all the papers. They would like to have a house that they own and not be a renter. They just don't want to sacrifice and scrape together a down payment every month. You know, they'd like to have a nice, clean, organized garage. They just don't want to spend hours working on, getting it that way. We find that often in life. That we'd like it to turn out just the way we want. We just don't want to stop and work hard to catch some of the more difficult and, painful key ingredients. But you better do that, especially when it comes to the topic we've been studying the last few weeks, and that is our friendships. If you want good friendships, Christian friendships, the kind of friendships we started a few weeks back to describe from the Bible as the kind that we were made for. Not just the fickle relationships of this world, but the kind of relationships where you really have something happening there that reflects even that inner Trinitarian commitment and loyalty that is really the pattern that's laid out for us there in John 15, then we're going to need all the ingredients, even those that may be more difficult to acquire and employ in our relationships. So that's how I want to wrap this short series up with, and that is a study of that key ingredient, and it's found in Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 14, and if we don't make it a point to focus on this and put this in place, well, then we may understand what Christian friendships are. We may even be motivated to try and cultivate them, but you will never be able to maintain them.